that environment in which we're doing our projects and in our interactions with the children are in everybody's best interest. So I look forward to DLG Bev's presentation later on, and I use the opportunity to welcome her at this point.
Thank you,
In terms of
Praise.
other, oh, go ahead. Yes, Bev. I
No,
see you.
just saying thank you.
You're most welcome. Looking forward to your presentation. And Bev also, DLG Bev also acts as our club advisor and our club coach, right? So she has helped us in many ways, and she continues to be a asset to the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. So thank you for your service and your mentorship, Bev. It is most appreciated.
Thank you, Praise.
Okay. Also, in terms of Kiwanis activities, on Saturday gone, I think a lot of you may have gone to the Kiwanis All Ireland virtual convention. It was well attended. I attended the session on Kiwanis brand and coordinating events, which was in the afternoon. It was quite good, and I was there in the morning also. When I saw that there were times there were over 200 Kiwanians were in that convention, so it was well attended and there was a lot of participation. I'll encourage all of you who were attended to the virtual convention that there is a feedback survey, and Kingston Club members, it's available in the WhatsApp group. So please, if you attended, please give the movement your participation in the survey so that we can make it bigger and better next year. Finally, I just want to remind our members that we're still trying to collect as much funds and the receivables on our two latest projects, which was the NDTC benefit performance, as well as the Barbie Fry. There is still some sponsorship money on the road, and we need them to complete some of the projects before the year ends. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you to try and get those returns in so that we can close off on these projects and put the funds to good use moving forward in the future. So that's it from me. I do see President-designate Zuri, VP Zuri, online. So I'm going to hand over to you, Zuri, to welcome our guests and fellow Kiwanians who are rolling in from the various clubs on this evening.
Thank you, President Stephen.
Sure.
Good evening to everyone present with us. Let me, on behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, welcome you to another of our weekly meetings. This week we are doing, I'm going to call it housekeeping, because we're going to be dealing with matters that affect us as Kiwanians and our service directly, as we are about the youth and protecting the children of the world. And so we are going to be looking intimately at how we do that this evening with our club coach, DLG Bev, and I want to say a very special welcome to you. It's always a pleasure having you at our meetings.
Thank you, Zuri.
You're most welcome. And if you have anybody who's visiting with you, we extend welcome to them as well. I know your New Kingston family is here supporting you. So they're going to get their opportunity to speak later. But if you have anyone else here, we are extending special warm welcome to them. Right? So I'm going to give our clubs who are online the opportunity to bring us greetings from wherever you are. And as usual, I'm going to start with Kiwanis clubs outside of Jamaica. So if we have any Kiwanis clubs online from outside of Jamaica, I'm going to invite you to open your microphone and just let us know where you're visiting from.
Greetings, President-designate Zuri and President Stephen. Hope all you guys. This is President Eddie. Our club, as you know, is both local and foreign. I'm in Orlando, as you know, but members are all over. I see Director Angela. She's in Atlanta right now. and Director Desrick is in Jamaica, and Camille, she's in Orlando. So we have 4 right now and counting. So we are always happy to interclub with Kingston. You know, we have a special bond with you guys also, especially through DLG Will. Okay, we keep in touch all the time. So greetings, greetings, greetings.
Well, it's always our pleasure to have you join us, and you have now become a part of the weekly family. So it's good to have you and your delegation sharing with us this
Thanks.
evening. Do we have any other clubs from outside of Jamaica? All right, let's make our way to Division 25. Do we have any Kiwanis clubs visiting from Division 25?
Good evening, P.E. Zuri. This is Director Crystal Heaven from the Kiwanis Club of Montego Bay. We are 3 number, looking forward to an interesting meeting. Thank you for the invite.
You're most welcome, Director Crystal, and it's our pleasure to have you and your delegation. And I can assure you, it will be an interesting and exciting meeting. For some older Kiwanians, it might just be a refresher, but for others, I mean, it might be just eye-opening. You may even learn something new that you've never heard before. Any other clubs from Division 25? All right, let's make our way to Division 24. Division 23 West.
Hi, good night, everyone. Director Shani Sudits from the Kiwanis Club of Oshrias. Looking forward to a wonderful meeting.
Hello, Director Shani. It's nice to have you from the beautiful parish. That's the best parish in Jamaica, by the way. Do we have any other clubs from Division 23 West? Division 23 East.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
I am President Paulette from Kiwanis Club of Papine, and there are 2 of us on, myself and Treasurer Daniel. I'm really looking forward to this afternoon. I know it's going to be eye-opening, as was said before, and I am really ready to learn as to what DLG Bev is going to tell us about. So thanks for inviting us, and I'm really looking forward to this afternoon's meeting. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Hope you have your pen ready. I have mine.
Yes, I do. I have my pen right here on my paper, ready to write.
Good. Division 23 Central.
Knew she would have done that. I knew it.
It's a Press Claudine, of course. It had to be. Press Claudine, you want to go and then me, or how you want to do it?
Thank you, because I was about to lodge a protest first. I have DLG Desmond online. I have DLG Willie. I have DLG.
That's right.
This best parish comment that PD Zuri made, and his was not connected with the word Portland. So, you know, I beg to lodge a protest. But anyway, we always feel at home with the Kiwanis Club of Kingston on a Tuesday evening. There are 7 members along with myself joining your meeting this evening. Thank you so much for having us, PD Zuri.
You're most welcome. You know, it's a pleasure to have my West St. Andrew family on. President John?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You see, I'm from Kingston, you know, but I have ties in Portland, you know, so I join with Press Claudine on that note. And in true fashion, I must join and say that it is also a pleasure to always be in the same space as Kiwanis Club of Kingston members. And I definitely look forward to an awesome meeting as per usual with the LG Bev. We are 2 in number at the moment, and we expect more to join. So looking forward to an awesome meeting. Blessings.
Blessings. It will be an awesome meeting. I can assure you of that. Thanks for joining, and it's always a pleasure having you and your delegation share with us. Do we have any other clubs from Division 23 Central?
PD Zuri, well, before you go to Central, I think East missed me in terms of, I would like to introduce my club member who's here to support me this evening, and that is our Kiwanian. Where is she now? My goodness, I missed her out there. Are you still there?
Janet?
Where's Janet? Janet, how come I missed you? Yes, I think I only see Janet on, but I'm hoping that others will join
Yes,
soon.
I'm
But
still here.
thank you, Janet, for coming, and I bring you warm greetings from our president and other members of the club. It was a short notice, late notice for them, so they would have had other interclubs to do. But thanks, Jan, for coming.
We understand. Thanks, Jan, for coming, for joining us as well. And it's always a pleasure having our New Kingston family with us. And I look forward to seeing more of them on a little bit later as well.
Good evening, PD Zuri. PD Zuri, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, President.
Good to see you.
Same.
I am President Eurydice from the Kiwanis Club of 23 Central Story Online. And at this time, we have a delegation of 2 to include your DG Desmond, who is a dual member. So thank you so much, and I look forward to this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. We enjoy having your company. So thanks for sharing with us.
Yes.
Do we have any other clubs from Division 23 Central? Okay, how about our SLPs? Do we have any member of our SLP family sharing with us this evening? Do we have any guests of Kiwanians? We may have some prospects on. I know I've sent an invitation to a few. I'm not sure. Do we have any prospects of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston?
Yeah,
right, maybe.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Just share your name with everyone.
All right, so hi again. I'm AJ Mattis.
Okay. I hope you don't mind, but I'll just refer to you by your surname. So it's a pleasure having you, Mr. Mattis. Eventually, I'll get the first name with any mispronunciations.
No problem.
Until then, it's our pleasure having you join us this evening.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Most welcome. All right, so let me just wish for us all a very good evening. I know that it's going to be a very interesting meeting. Like I said, grab your pens, get ready to take some notes, as we will be receiving gems that we can use in our service. Back to you, President Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you, President-designate Zuri. And special welcome to Aheje, if I got it right. Is that right, Aheje?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. Welcome. Welcome. I hope you find our meeting interesting as a prospective Kiwanian. We try to make it a mixture of fun as well as information, and make it educational as well as interesting. So I hope you find this meeting a small snippet of what Kiwanis is about. And welcome to anybody who is a guest of Kiwanis who is here this evening. Most Kiwanians will know a lot about what we're going to talk about today, and have been involved in various projects with the children. So we, again, welcome everybody here. In terms of housekeeping, we do have some apologies for absence. I'm checking on my notes. I did get an apology from Kiwanian Andy John Baptiste. DLG Willie, Secretary Willie, is there any other formal apologies that have been tendered?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, President. Thank you,
First, we extend an apology on behalf of Treasurer Orville Lewis, who is in Grand Cayman,
Right.
and an apology on behalf of distinguished President Major Richard Reed.
Yes, who is
And
traveling.
past district trustee Ralston.
Okay, good, good, good.
All right. Correct.
All duly noted. And Kiwanians, we appreciate when you just drop us a note, either myself or Secretary Willie, that you're unable to attend. We know that you're out there, but we know that genuinely you can't make to the meeting. So it's always a good sign when we receive those formal apologies. Now we're moving on to birthdays and anniversaries. And I think I see, yes, I do see DP Newton online. So if there's anybody, I'm going to hand over to you, Newton, to celebrate our birthday boys or birthday girls this week.
Thank you, President Stephen. Yes, we do have birthday boys and birthday girls. But before I get there, let me just say good evening to everyone on the platform. Good evening, DLG Bev. I know you have a whole library to bring to us this evening. And special good evening to DLGE Trevor Christian. Nice to see you, sir. All right. So let me get on to our birthdays and the anniversaries. For this week, from the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, we have past chairman George Gilling and his wife Cynthia. They celebrate their anniversary on the 15th. Well, on the 16th, we have Kiwani Gary Lee Singh. We know he's not, I don't think he's in Jamaica right now, but I know we can still give him a call. There's a thing called WhatsApp. So Gary Lee Singh, he celebrates his birthday on the 16th. And the lady who has fed us so many times, Lady Catherine, she's a wife of DP Dalma. She celebrates her birthday on the 16th. No, from my listing, that is it from the members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. But if there's anyone else on the platform tonight who is celebrating a special occasion, a birthday anniversary, just some special occasion, we invite you to just open your microphone, share with us so we can celebrate with you. Anyone? No? All right, well, President Stephen, it's back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, and happy birthday to all of those members and their respective spouses who are June babies. So give thanks and hope they see many, many, many more. Next on our program, we have Kiwanis Education with none other than DLG Desmond Batchelor. I think I saw Desmond. I do see you online.
Very much here, President. Good evening,
Yeah,
everyone.
man. Good evening. Over to you, sir.
Fellow Kiwanians, SLP members and guests, good evening. The topic is President's Training Conference. The Kiwanis President's Training Conference is crucial for equipping club leaders with the knowledge and skills necessary to effectively manage and guide their clubs, ultimately contributing to the overall success in accomplishing clubs' goals. These conferences emphasize responsibilities of the president's role, review Kiwani's international and district goals, and facilitate the development of club-specific plans. Just some highlights of the importance, really. One, understanding responsibilities and expectations. The conference ensures that incoming presidents and board members clearly understand their duties and expectations placed upon them as leaders of their clubs. These include understanding the structure of Kiwanis, the roles of other club officers and directors, and how to effectively delegate tasks and responsibilities. So delegation is important, so much important, we have to understand how to do that. Two, developing essential leadership skills. Training sessions focusing on enhancing leadership capabilities, including communication, delegation, motivation, and conflict resolution. even in Kiwanis we have conflicts. These skills are vital for fostering a positive and productive club environment. 3, aligning with Kiwanis international and district goals and initiatives. The conference helps presidents understand their goals and how their club can translate them into club goals. These include aligning with club initiatives, with Kiwanis goals on serving children and building better communities. 4, strengthening community impact by equipping presidents with the knowledge and skills to effectively lead their clubs. The training conference indirectly strengthens the club's ability to make a positive impact in their communities. Effective leadership translates to better organized events, increased membership engagement, and ultimately more effective service to children. And finally, financial budget. The financial budget for the upcoming year is also discussed for finalization before the end of the current administrative year. So all of that should be taking place now. The various committees are responsible to provide the treasurer with the budget for their respective committees. So community service, SLP committee, club meetings committee, those should be discussed at this time and information communicated to the treasurer. So for the budget for the respective committees, this preliminary information is discussed at the conference where adjustments may be made for subsequent approval by the board. And that is it for Kiwanis Education. President Stephen, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, DLG. Desmond, very helpful. Kiwanis does provide a productive environment for leadership. It does impart a lot of leadership skills. I'll tell you an interesting story, which is tied into your point about the leadership training conference. I was recently talking with a president of one of our clubs, and he was telling me the story that while he was president, he has learned a lot about handling projects and dealing with people, so much so that his supervisor, his boss at his office, had said to him that he noticed a difference in his approach to his job, and since he has joined Kiwanis, and had he known that Kiwanis would have such an impact on him as a leader, he would have paid for him to join much sooner. So I found it interesting that it was recognized that, at his own, you join Kiwanis for service, but it does bleed over into other aspects of your life, and in this case, his work environment, and it's so much so that his boss recognized the difference in him and was encouraging him to continue. So Kiwanis helps in all kinds of different ways and shapes. So I thought that was quite relevant to your presentation this evening. But now we're moving on to our main attraction, our main event, so to speak. And I did see Director Rupert online, who's going to now give the formal introduction, rather, for our guest speaker, DLG Beverly. So over to you, Director Rupert. I hope you're not driving, but you have pulled across.
No, I'm not driving, Prez.
All right, go ahead. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you. Well, it's a privilege for me to introduce to you our special presenter this evening. Apart from her charm and beauty, she is a passionate Kiwanian for over 35 years, a charter member of the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston, where she served as president and was elected Lieutenant Governor of 23 East. Not going to tell you the year, but she served so well that she was designated as distinguished. She's now the Youth Protection Manager for ECNC, but she has held so many positions in Kiwanis and received so many recognitions that I'm not going to spend this evening to tell us all about it. Her alma mater is Excelsior High School. She's a retired medical technologist. But I would say that she has a master's degree in growing up 3 boys. And she has a lot of experience to share with us relating to young people this evening. She also has a PhD in spoiling 4 wonderful grandchildren. She's a friend of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. She's, to me, the consummate Kiwanian, somebody I would like to be like. She's a club coach of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston and a friend of many of us at the Kiwanis Club of Kingston for many years. Welcome, DLG Bev. So happy to have you. Fellow Kiwanians, I present to you the one and only DLG Beverly Thompson.
Thank you so much, Rupert. That was so nice, man. I mean, I'm getting all the PhD. That's nice. I love that. I love that. I love that. Good evening, my fellow Kiwanians, and especially my president, Stephen. It's so good to be back with you online to speak of a topic that's very dear to us, but it's dear to me, and I know a lot of Kiwanians have become friends of youth protection because it's so interesting, and as the years roll by, it will get more interesting, especially from the standpoint of Kiwanis International. So there's lots more in store in terms of youth protection. So it is my privilege to speak with you all this evening. We have 45 participants online. And if anyone else from my club had joined, I thank you for coming. But we're going to talk this evening. And I like when questions are asked. I like when challenges are put forward and we can work it out together. And so I'm not only going to do the talking. So as someone said, get your pencils, your papers out so we can talk. We have until, President, please guide me here. What's my time limit here? So I know how to.
We normally allow 30 minutes.
30 minutes? You know, this is not going to work for that.
No,
but
under circumstances, you can use the time that you need. That's all right.
Okay, all right. So I will make it.
45.
Thank you. I will try to really condense it. And what I really want to do is to hear from persons. I know we have some young, new Kiwanians online, and they might be hearing this for the first time. The seasoned Kiwanians would have heard it already, and they may have some more questions that they want to ask. But it is indeed a pleasure to open this discussion. So I'm going to share my screen. And we're gonna go ahead. Just give me 1 second. Let me get to. Okay, so we're here this evening, and I thank you for wanting to be here to listen. Some persons think that this topic is boring. I've heard it already. They don't want to hear it again because, you know, they can't bother with it. But why are you a Kiwanian? And that's the first question you need to ask yourself. Isn't it that we work with children? And once you're working with children, it simply means that we have to know how to protect these children. What do we do? What do we look for in when we go visiting our SLPs? Do we just go and something is happening and we're not even able to identify and to help in some way or the other? So this evening we will go through, and of course we are going to, as I said before, ask you to participate along with us. Now, we're here because we have many objectives. We want to know why youth protection matters. We want to learn about the policies and how to protect and to prevent abuse. And we want to be able to respond to abuse in the appropriate way and, of course, not violating any of the policies. So whether you are a district leader, whether you are just a club member, whether you are a friend of Kiwanis or a parent and you're a Kiwanian, you know, it is good for you to know all that we're going to talk about is good for you to have an idea of what it's all about. So why does it matter? You know, we work with service leadership programs. And for those who are new, and I know your club has quite a few service leadership programs, which means you have key clubs, you have builders club, you have K-Kids. I'm not sure you do have any action clubs, or if you have a CKI, which is the Circle Chaos. Do you have any of any of these that you don't have, Prince? Which ones you don't have?
We have a CKI. We have one
We have a
CKI.
CKI, but no action.
No action. Okay, no action. And we know that Action Club is for youth that has a different way of learning. We would say they have a disability. They're not as able as we able-bodied persons are. And so we want to show emphasis on our Action Club so we don't leave them out at all. Okay, so you do have this. Whatever we're talking about tonight, it will apply to you. Next question I want to ask now is, do you have any Kiwanian advisors? And if you remember how many? I know Willie is one.
Desmond, Andrew.
Desmond, Andrew.
Zuri.
Zuri. Okay. Now for the new persons and PD Zuri, he's an advisor too.
Yeah, he's applied.
He has applied for to be an advisor.
Right.
And what this simply means, new Kiwanians or not so new Kiwanians, is that once you have any SLPs, you should have advisors. You don't have to have a whole lot. Kiwanis allows, or you can have a maximum 2 per club. So you can have 2 for Action Club, 2 for Key Club, 2 for Builders, and so on, right? But you must have advisors to these clubs. And these advisors, there are certain requirements which you're going to hear as I go along. There are certain requirements that they must fulfill. And so when you hear the word Kiwanian advisor, you now know that these are Kiwanians who have the responsibility of managing your service leadership programs. They visit with the clubs, your service leadership clubs. They have dialogue with the faculty advisors, stroke staff advisor. And so they keep the club, they keep your president informed. They keep your SLP chairman informed, and the SLP chairperson is an integral part of the whole program itself. You have to have somebody who is in charge, that chairman for that, and you can have co-chairman or whatever. But this is a group, this is a special group that I like to call them special because they are our youth. And so they are our future. And so we need to really spend a lot of time knowing how to deal with them. Together, we are the stewards for the well-being of our hundreds and thousands of young people. In Jamaica, it's thousands of them, right? And so each of us individually may be responsible for 1, 2, 10, or 50 young persons at any given time. Okay, so the SLP members, are counting on us Kiwanians, to provide them with almost everything, educationally, fun, and so on. Okay, so we have to know what we are doing. Like I said again, stop me whenever you want to ask a question. So in today's
Sorry,
yes, go ahead, go right ahead.
The way you said it a while ago, 2 for action, 2 for builders. I'm it really is not. I'm wondering if anybody could have misinterpreted that and not realize that it's 2 per club.
When I say 2 per club, 2 per action, you don't have action.
No, in other
So
words, you can have up to 2 advisors, but it's
2
per club, isn't it? Per club?
Yes,
Right,
per club. Yes,
yeah.
we're speaking about your club. Yes, per club. Per club. Yes, so another club would have the same
No, I
ratio.
didn't mean per us. I meant per key
Per
club.
club, yes. And I think I did say it per service leadership program. So if you have two key clubs and you have 2 persons dealing with key clubs as their advisors. Is it any clearer?
No, but okay, I understand you. We may not have more than 2, but couldn't you have 2? In the old days, I understood that each club could have 2 advisors. We're not meeting that standard anymore, but isn't that true?
Yes, you can have 2 advisors for the entire
per club. That's what I meant. You can you?
Stewie, okay, let us.
I must ask it because that's what I thought.
All right, so let me start over again. In your club, Kiwanis Club of Kingston, how many key clubs do you have?
About 6.
We have 8 key clubs.
Whatever. Okay. You have what? 5, 4, 3?
8 builders club, 9 builders.
All
Sorry,
right.
8 key club, 9 builders club.
Okay. I soon take your hand, Desmond. So you have 2 builders. Now, for your 2 builders, do you have a chairman for that committee? For Builders Club, or is one chairman overall for service leadership?
No, we have a chairman for Key Club, and we have a chairman for Builders Club and KK, and one for our CKI Club.
Okay. And you had mentioned in the beginning that you have advisors. You have Kiwanian advisors. Am I right?
All right.
And I don't want to really, how many advisors do you have? I'm just trying to work out a little ratio here.
We don't have more than 4 advisors.
4 advisors who are equipped with the necessary
training and background checks.
Right. 4 advisors. But it's not in any particular order, like an advisor for Key Club or advisor for your Circle K or so on. It's 4 advisors, so they can go work at any. Right. So your club has 4. What I was saying is that you can have up to a maximum of 2 if you want to. If you want to have 2, 3, 4, 5, fine. But you can have up to a max of 2. I don't know if Stuart is on the same path with me. Stu?
Yeah, okay. I don't want to prolong it, but when you said you can have a maximum of 2.
Yes.
2, the example that we just said, we have so much in Key Club, we have so much in Builders, and one Circle K. Are you saying that we can have a maximum? No, I'm not saying that we could find them if we wanted them, But in terms of what the maximum is, I'm. What does the 2 refer to? What is
All right.
what is that limit? What does
Let me
that
just quickly,
limit refer to?
that limit refers to Kiwanis in terms of payment for the advisors at $35, because I was going to come to that, but since we have reached it, payment of $35 for advisors, your Kiwanian advisors, maximum 2 per builders, 2 per. So in your club, you could have those 4 should be paid for at $35. Okay, we're having a challenge with the payment of to get your background checks done. There is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I jumped the gun because I was coming to that, where this fairly new detail on how many, the maximum that international would pay at the $35.
Oh, I guess
see what
I see the connection, because
you see the
international
connection now.
is paying for it.
You're right.
They have set a limit. Okay.
Right. So if we go over, say you had 6 and you have 5, can I have that on record? And you have five SLPs. That means you would have gone over the limit of what they would pay at 35. You can get them to get the background check at a higher cost.
Okay. You go ahead.
You see where I'm going.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's move on now. Now, abuse has been around for decades. It's just that we never paid it much attention, and now that youth protection is becoming far more sophisticated and far more persons are wanting to know, we are now jumping to see what it's all about in this day of abuse. Now, in Jamaica, in February 2023, the CDC reported that teen girls were experiencing record high levels of violence, sadness, suicide risk, and so on. And so, do you know, in 2023, remember when we had the 2020s, when we started COVID, was it 2020 or 21, going there? A lot of things started to rear its ugly head.
Yeah,
And
COVID-19 was in latter part of the
19,
calendar year,
right.
2019. Yes.
And so when I used to do the presentations, we had statistics of showing students who tried to commit suicide right here in Jamaica during the period because of how they were, remember, they had to be online school and so on, and they frustrated youth that were out there and couldn't deal with it. Then up comes LGBTQ, and it's something that we're not going to leave out. I used to try not to even talk about it, but it's something that's in the future, happening now, and it's going to increase. And so these teens that are a part of LGBTQ, they continue to face high levels of violence and mental health challenges. It has not hit Jamaica as yet. I don't know of it reaching in the schools as yet here, but we have to be equipped that whenever it happens, we know how to deal with it, because there are certain things we would have to deal with if that should happen right here in Jamaica. But right now, we don't have to deal with it. But overseas, they definitely have to deal with it. All right. So CDC survey also shows that 5 in 6 teens are bullied over in cyberspace. They are bullied, and that also causes abuse and youth trying to talk about suicide and all of that. So suicide in Jamaica is spoken about. It's reported, but I don't think it's reported. I don't have any recent statistics on that. I have statistics on sexual violence that almost 1 in 4 of our youth here in Jamaica have experienced some amount of sexual violence. Now, another thing I quickly want to just talk about before I jump further is that there is going to be very soon what you call it now? There will be where you can go, somewhere where you can go and get information on child molesters. It's going to be made public. And we have to prepare ourselves for that also, which jumps me to the next point, and I'm just telling them as it comes to my head, is that Kiwanis in another few years will be asking persons who are desirous of joining the movement that they have to show proof that they are not a child molester. And that is, I suppose, through having a police record, not necessarily their background check, but a police record. Because if you realize what is happening with marketing Kiwanis now, is that Kiwanis is being marketed out there in social media. So somebody can come to your meeting and said, oh, when they're introducing themselves, I saw your club's name on one of the social media platforms, and I decided to come to your meeting just to see what it's all about. And you say, oh, this is somebody who wants to join. You don't know anything about the person. It's not one of your members. Remember, first time Kiwanis was strictly through, you had to join through someone inviting you. But what is happening now, and we have realized that you can join coming in from online. Yes, you're going to have to question the persons, but it's not somebody who is you personally know. So there are loopholes there. Okay, so we must get that sooner or later, when somebody's wanting to join the club, you're going to probably have to be asking for proof that they are not child molesters and they don't have a record. So look out for that. Any questions? All right, so abuse can happen at any time. It usually occurs in private places, bathrooms, cars, buses, hotels, just in any space that the person is a one-on-one, you and I, it can happen. And of course, you would understand that if we talk about bathrooms and hotels and buses, we're talking about when we have to transport these kids to their down to the country, they have to stay over night in the hotel and that sort of thing. Abuse can happen anytime, anywhere. It can happen also online through texting, sexting, pornography, and other social media sites. Predators use one-on-one access to groom and assert emotional control over our youth. And that one-on-one can happen if one-on-one you're going to your school's, your SLP, and you have a chance to have a one-on-one conversation. One-on-one can happen when you go on a trip and you have a chance to out there take a child around a corner and talk to them or whatever. It happens just anywhere. And you really have to agree that we do things that can typically, have these sort of things happening. And we have to know how we're going to control all of that. Okay? Any questions so far? So, youth protection, we want to train you to how to protect, how to educate, and we want to get all Kiwanians engaged in learning how to protect the youth from predators, how we will provide the youth with skills, and we're doing a good job with that now with our young people. We're opening up their eyes to heart and all of those things. So we're not lacking in these areas, and we want to empower and educate our adults on the best practices when working with the youth. Okay, so we want to get our members knowing what to do in terms of protecting our youth. Okay, so some of the practices, in order to meet our goals, we need to equip ourselves. And how do we do that? How do we do that? We have to be trained. We have to go and research, and we have to engage in some of the programs that Kiwanis offers for training and for learning. There is a culture of care. Of course, there's a background check. And of course, we have access to policies and training. And we do that through many channels when it comes to training. Right now, we're doing some training online. But this is not only online. We take it to conventions. We have special meetings and all of that. So we have to get our youth protection policies, and we have to learn more about youth protection policies. But where do we go to get that? It's right there online at our fingertips. And you can go to kiwanis.org, youth protection, and see lots of resources that's there for us to learn from and to get more familiar with what is it that I, as a Kiwanian, have to do. And so we have accessible policy training, meaning that we have this one-page document. Clubs can review these policies annually, and we ask that you can go online, you can download this document, which is a one-page back and front, and it gives you some information on youth policy, on the youth protection policies. You can also go for the Youth Protection Presidium course. Okay, and that means I'm going to talk a little more about the Presidium course that we as Kiwanian advisors will have to have also as a part of getting your youth protection training. It forms a part of the training. Okay. We have also where we have, and I spoke to that already, where we can educate you through virtual conferences, training as what we're doing, conventions. There are lots of webinars, and there are lots of information that you can download and have person do, read personally, or you can show to your club at one of your education slots at your meeting. This is also very important. This one-page document can be used at your club meetings, and it is a per se version of the entire youth protection policies. And of course, lots of other information. We're talking about use of alcohol. We need to know what to do, marijuana and other substances, personal youth information, transportation, what do we do, the social media, and all about medication. What do we do about medication? I'm sure some of you didn't know that this is all a part of the youth protection, knowing how to manage medication for the youth when they're in your presence. And we're going to get to that too. What are we really talking about? Access training. What is the training? All right, so the training, like what we're doing now, group activity as a Kiwanis club, your club is doing this. And this is done from October 1 to September 30 of each year. You're just in time in doing this training. And of course, you will have sessions, which we spoke about. There also is a training slide. When you log into kiwanis.org, you can get a training slide or recording, and it gives you lots of information as to what you are required to do. Now, at the club training, which is what we are trying to do here now, your club is expected to inform and educate its members through either myself or a member of the team, who the team at this moment has Mr. Humber. We have trainers from overseas at Kiwanis International, and we can get all of those people to come and train, or myself as the ECNC Youth Protection Manager, okay, and the different methods. Now, club secretaries, this is very important. We are asking that as soon as we log off here, we're asking that you go to the dashboard and you indicate that your club has done the youth protection training, because I think it forms a part of the criteria for distinguished status, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right,
You're
President?
correct. You're correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can do that and put it on your dashboard. But it's no point you just write into them and tell them, Secretary, go on and put it on the dashboard. Let me see. I think I'm going to come up to the point where on the dashboard it says our club has received youth protection guidelines training, and you tick that. Okay?
All right.
All right. So another part of the training, which I was alluding to earlier, is a course called the Online Youth Protection Presidium course. And this course, anybody can take this. It's free. It comes in English and you get 2 other languages, French and Spanish. And it is for 2 years. You refresh every 2 years. I have done this twice, and I'm telling you, it assists you whether you are a Kiwanian or a parent. It just has so much information that you will find that it's well worth the effort of doing it. All right, so it covers abuse risk management for us, because we're all volunteers, remember. So for us as volunteers, abuse risk management, social media safety, and social media has its fair share of being unsafe too, especially for the youth. But it teaches you all of that. Prevention, sexual activity among adolescents, duties to report, meet Sam, it happened to me, and safety, what is this? I can't even read this. For monitoring and supervision. All right, so it has all of these modules that you can look at, and you will look at with a view of doing the exam. And it's no big thing examine out. You must just read and understand and then answer the questions. Okay? Any questions so far? I'm just talking to myself, nobody don't come across anything that you want to talk about that you're not so sure of that we just spoke about before.
On this presidium.
I've been raising my hand now.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. There's one. Oh, I'm just seeing it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. And then the next person, there's somebody else who. Okay, go ahead, DLG.
And put it back again. All right. So there are schools that Kiwanis clubs are closely affiliated with. There's the Chevans Basic School in
Sandpad, yeah.
Right. There you have school from 23 CSO with the breakfast feeding program. Breakfast feeding program. You have schools with terrific kids program. But guess what? They are not SLP clubs.
They're not your SLP
They're
clubs.
They're not sponsored.
Or they're not a part of the SLP.
They're not a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the requirements for us as Kiwanians to be interacting with them?
Okay, so even if, and this is my answer now, I can do some research, but this is my answer, because to me it's just logical. If you are visiting with these clubs, they're not official on your dashboard as a part of your club, but you still visit with them. When you visit with them, do you have, is is it a program that you have set for them and you meet every Wednesday, or it's just by the way? Is it an informal thing that you have?
All right. And it is more informal for some, but I know of others where it is structured so that it is scheduled. We have scheduled meetings. I know of 2 other clubs. I know of Kiwanis Club of Young Professionals St. Andrew. There's also Young Professionals Kingston with the Bugs program at Norman Manley High School, for example. But these schools are not sponsored.
But
SLP
Desmond, do you know that they don't have to be Kiwanis clubs for them to do the Kiwanis programs that we have? You can always do the programs, right?
Yes,
so therefore, once you are doing any work with them as Kiwanians, yes, a lot of this what we're talking about now would apply. Because there are children that you're working with, the youth. If anything should happen when you go, say for example, you're doing a box program with one of them.
Yes.
And you go and something happens, or you're taking that group out. Let me use something else. You're taking that group on a trip. And they're going on the trip under the umbrella of Kiwanis. Am I right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so Kiwanis is now responsible for this bunch of youth, whether or not they're on the dashboard at Kiwanis International. Because if anything should happen, we can't say to the parent, but we don't be responsible because they're not a part of Kiwanis. So you see where I'm going?
It is desirable, of course.
It's desirable. But Kiwanis gives you the privilege because they do say you can do these programs, bringing up grade, and there's another one. Which is the other one for Terrific Kids? Because in a sense, it makes sense because we want all children should be open to this kind of training, this kind of learning, and we offer it. And so Kiwanis is saying, we're not saying you can't do it with other schools or even a club, a youth club or something. So therefore, once they're coming out with you under the auspices of Kiwanis, we are taking them out. We have to follow the rules and the policies of Kiwanis youth protection. Because simple, we're taking out the youth, whether they belong on our dashboard or not. We are initiating visits to them. We are initiating them going out with us. So we have to follow because CDA, the Child Development Agency, if you were to get into any problems, they would ask you to, look, these are some of the things that you fall down in. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you're covered whether or not they are a part of the family. Since Kiwanis is allowing us for them to be a part of the family by doing bring up grades and the rest of the programs, we have to know how to protect them.
DLG,
good.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, Desmond. It's just a quick question. I wasn't aware that we could do these programs in schools that were not under the sponsor.
Yes,
I wasn't aware. How recent is this?
All right,
I mean,
so can I?
Ever since?
Yeah, man. Yes. A few years now. I can't tell you exactly when, but Kiwanis allowed, just like how Kiwanis allows a club. A club can form a Kiwanis club, like one of these youth clubs in the community.
Yeah.
They can form a Kiwanis club, you know.
That's right.
Yes. So you see, there's always so much to learn and to know. It's just that, and sometimes I say to myself, so there's so many schools that we could go and bring up grades and Terrific Kids without the school being a part of the program. And look how many more persons we would benefit. You know what I mean? All right, so that is it. Yes, you can. You can. All right, DLG Willie has a question. DLG Willie?
Very good, DLG Bev. I'd love you to, if time permits, you spend at least 5 minutes, because there are a number of people on the platform that don't know how to apply for their youth protection background check. And it'd be useful
Yeah, I'm
if you
coming
could
to
share
that.
some
Yeah, man.
information with
I'm
individuals. Okay,
I'm
you're
going to
coming to that.
come to
Okay.
that. Yes, I'm coming to that. And I
All
think that's
right.
a little signal to tell me, hurry up. All right. Yes,
No,
I'm
no, no.
coming to that.
No,
Yeah, but
no.
I'm gonna go to
Very
that.
useful
Yeah,
so far.
yeah, I'm gonna go
Okay.
to that.
I have a
Okay, so
question.
yes, who has a question?
But my hand is not up, but I have a
Okay,
question.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm Kiwani and Pablo from North St. Andrew. This Presidium Academy course,
Yeah.
did you say it's for key advisors, and we're supposed to have it, or in the future we will be required to have it?
All right. So key advisors, your Kiwanian advisors, Kiwanis advisors, or anybody who wants to be a chaperone, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, background checks, you should have your Presidium Academy course done.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Mhm. And like I said, it's open to any member because it's so interesting that anybody else who wants to, can log on. All right. Okay, so we move on quickly. So we're coming to your advisors now. So your advisors are also chaperones. So the 4 advisors that you have in your club, Willie and all the other gentlemen there, you are chaperones also. And why are you a chaperone? Because when you are going out, you're there for the children. You have to make sure they're okay and all of that, okay? Now, adult chaperones must be 21 years or older. CKI members who are younger than 21 can volunteer, but they can't be an official chaperone. So here it is. You have a CKI club. You are doing something with one of your builders club. And what we used to do in the past is we would use some of those CKI members to come with us and to be totally responsible for these builders. Kiwanis is saying no. As long as they're under 21, they cannot be an official chaperone. They can still come to the occasion or to the function and they can still assist, but they cannot be official chaperones. And to be an official chaperone, whether you are a Kiwanis advisor, you must have a clear background check. You must have reviewed the youth protection policy. You must complete the Presidium courses. All right? And you must have an ability to monitor and check with, and supervise, to able to supervise children. Okay? So those are some of the things that as a Kiwanis advisor that you have to have. And again, remember I said, in a club of 100 and how many members or 200 members, and you have 4 advisors, make sure those 4 advisors have the necessary requirements to be an advisor. And these are some of their requirements. Okay? And the official chaperone is someone who will have direct oversight, privacy, and control over the SSLP members. So, for example, checking students in and out and supervising and monitoring them. So, for example, we're going to a church service. Your official chaperone slash Kiwanis advisors would be there to give direct oversight. So you're directly responsible for the members of your club who are of your SLPs that are at the church service. You're checking the students and you're basically supervising them. Those are the duties of what a chaperone stroke person who has a background advisor would do. All right, so for the new persons, your club would have persons who are called advisors, Kiwanian advisors. Slash with that, you have at the school that you have responsibility for, you have the faculty or slash staff advisor. And every school that you have on your dashboard as being sponsors for must have an advisor, must have a faculty advisor, have a Kiwanian advisor and a faculty advisor. The faculty advisor is usually not necessarily the teacher of the specific class, but it can be a teacher from the school, and it's not usually the principal either, but it's a teacher from the school or two teachers or three teachers that would be trained so that when you are coming off campus with the children, they have their background checks. Those faculty advisors or the one faculty advisor. Okay, guys, you're in line with me? All right. Kiwanis policy requires a certain number of chaperones to be involved, number of persons when you're going out. And we're going to just say quickly for a single day event, single day service leadership event, there needs to be one background check adult for 50 youth. So single day event, at least one, and you're going to follow the school in whatever it is that the school asks us to do. At the school, the single day event at a school, on the school premises, you need to have at least one, the chaperone being the advisor, being there. The advisor should be there for that event. Plus other Kiwanians. Other Kiwanians can come, but at least there's one person who has the background check, who has this, who has that, that will be there for the children on campus. When it comes to the teacher, for the faculty advisor, it can be any faculty advisor because they do have background checks already done for being there on premises. As a teacher, you have to have police records and all of that done. So that's fine. They're not leaving the campus, so they can stay there with you as the Kiwanian advisor, along with a teacher at the school. However, if you are going off premises on a single day event, it's one chaperone again to 50 members. But the difference is you're off the premises, and so you need that same one person to be there, and you're also going to need the teacher, because schools don't send their students out without a teacher accompanying them. That teacher who is coming out as a chaperone, she also or he has to have his background check done. Everybody following me?
Yes.
Overnight, come sticky now. Overnight gets sticky because you're going to be sleeping with them out there. They're going to be out of their homes for a night or two, and that is like usually conventions. And they're going to be in hotel rooms. And it becomes you remember what we spoke about first, about where things can happen in hotels, in cars, buses, etc. Here we go now. We need to have at least one adult male to 10 youth males. And I never said females and males mix. One adult male to 10 youth males. So the ratio is 1 in 10 male and for 1 in 10 females. We're not mixing. once we're going overnight, and you're not going to sleep in the same room with the youth unless you can't stay in that room unless it's with one of the parents. I think they're looking into that right now. Let me just hold on to that point, because once you have your background check, somebody must be in that room who would be monitoring these kids. And no, most times parents want to go, and they're saying that parents can stay in the room with the children. All right, so any questions there? I know Willie wants to hear about the background checks.
A question.
Yes.
You said that when the school is involved, or a teacher is accompanying the students, that teacher, even though they are not Kiwanians and they are representing the school,
yes,
they must have the Kiwanis organized background check. That's what you said.
Yes.
How we impose that?
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of what we are going.
All right. Okay, so it's not a matter of imposition. Impose, because they have a choice. So what we do is we ask that whomever it is, the principal would say, and we encourage that kind of discussion with the principals. So now we have an SLP in your school, and when we're going on programs outside of the school, whomever the teacher is that's going to come along to be there with the children must have a background check. We will work with that teacher. We will pay for that teacher's background check. And so it's not onerous on the school, because we are asking them to step out of line, because they're coming out with us under the umbrella of Kiwanis, and we as Kiwanians have a duty to protect. And so what Kiwanis is saying, if a teacher who do you know that the schools, as I said before, not sending their students unless a teacher is there, or a parent who is acting on behalf of a teacher, that parent too would have to have a background check. So to answer your question, Stewie, yes, that teacher would have to have a background check, and we can initiate that, we can negotiate to do it, to pay for it, and they would pay at the $35 for their background check.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a kind of scenario. We used to have a hike to Hollywell, right?
Yeah.
We haven't done it in a while. A very enjoyable experience. It was key clubbers. It was I don't think builders clubbers were involved. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but it used to be quite. Can anybody really can remember like how many kids would have been on a good day when we had when we used to do the hike once a year?
Oh yeah, good mix. They involve village clubs as well. You'd have literally just short of 100 kids, maybe
Right.
80 kids at most, maybe.
Okay, in that scenario, can you just roughly tell us what the requirements would have been? Say 80 kids.
80 kids? So
yeah.
It's a one-day
hike.
event, a hike for one day.
A one-day event.
Right. And it's 80. So 1 in 50, I would say you need to have at least two. Two persons with background checks going on that hike. 2 adults over 21 with background check going on that trip. Or you can, remember, no, it's minimum, so you can have more if you have enough persons.
But other Kiwanians could go.
Other Kiwanians, yes.
Background
Absolutely.
checks, but you must have at least two with
background checks, yeah. And the more Kiwanians they have, yes, but those 2 persons with background checks would be the persons whom, if anything should happen, Kiwanis is going to say, who are the certified Kiwanian advisors on this trip? And then you can name out Willie and Stewie. They have their background check, so that's fine. And so they would be the leaders of that. But you have other Kiwanians who back up now, they do this and they do that. They can and those other Kiwanians have to know too that if they see or hear anything, they must run to Willie and you right away to say, look, something is happening. Here is this. Do that, do that. You know what I mean?
All right. And one more example, quickly. We used to do a camp. No, we used to. This was an overnight event.
Yes,
right?
I remember I used to come to that.
That really can remind me of the kind of number that it wouldn't be 80, wouldn't be as much as that. But and it was gender, it was one gender. Well, no, how we used to deal with that part, Willie? Because it wasn't just one gender.
No, but we separate the children.
Yeah. How we would manage that now if we were to try that again? Because we haven't done it again. We haven't done that in years.
So how you would do that now? You say you're gonna split male, female, or if you're keeping it to females, and it's 50 of them.
No,
you're gonna need
both genders.
Or both genders? Yes, both genders, but you have to have two separate camps in terms of sleeping arrangements. They can come and meet. So you have 50, 25, 30 boys and 20 girls.
Yeah.
You're going to need at least for the 20 girls, you need to have 2 chaperones because they're staying overnight, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to have 2 female chaperones for the 20 girls and 3 male chaperones for the 30 boys. Okay. And the two sexes would not stay in the same room. Right. So that's why at camps for our Key Club camps, they have boys and girls, male and female. Right? So that's how you would do that.
Yeah. The last time we went on a camp, we stayed at Oberlin High School. The children were separated, the girls from the boys.
And you had enough persons with background checks working.
That time we didn't give much importance to them.
Right, right. True, Willie. Yes, true. That's true. That is true. But now it's getting different. So we have to be prepared. And so what does this say? It means that we need to plan well and plan early so that if you're falling short and the members in your club who have background checks, you can say to them, look, guys, we have to come down and stay overnight, You have to be with the kids. But again, we as Kiwanis, we need to have proper places for the adults to stay. You see what I'm saying? Proper places, and that has been a problem. So we need to look into that also.
Correct.
Okay? All right, so there was something I was to say, but it slipped me. All right, so you're okay, Stu?
I'm okay.
Scott. Okay,
I'm
all
okay.
right. All right, so now we're getting closer to how you get the background check. Now, preventing false allegations. And this is a fairly new one. We are accustomed to, you know how we stay already as Jamaicans. we love to get physical, right? And we love our children and we want to show them that we love them. And we have physical contact. Somebody might not be feeling well and you hug. Oh, sweetheart, oh, hush. What's happening today? We can't do that. We used to send them, like take them to the bathroom, hug up. You would see a male advisor walk into the bathroom with a child, a female child going to the bathroom, helping them, because that's what we do. But what it is saying now, you have to work in the line of sight of others. You go into the bathroom, don't go to the bathroom with just one youth. Ask anybody else want to come, anybody else for a bathroom call, and make sure you and maybe 2 other Kiwanians go. So it's a group activity, not going into the bathroom with them, but taking them to the bathroom and standing out there to make sure things are okay. You see what I'm saying? Any questions here? I think this is as clear as day.
Yes, that's clear.
Right? And let us try to avoid as much physical contact with our youth as possible. I'm not saying we're to get cold, but we have to be careful. In Jamaica, we don't have, well, I've not heard of it, where kids would go and report, and I'm dealing with Kiwanis now, report to CD that a Kiwanian was out of line and he touched me where he shouldn't touch me. And those, we don't reach that stage yet, but it's getting there. Once their eyes are open to what, because remember, we take this training into the schools too. We take it to the key clubs, we take it to the CKIs. And so their eyes will be open to what they should look out for. And they should know that no one Kiwanian should be traveling with me, taking me home at all. No one Kiwanian should be doing that. Just me and the Kiwanian. Because anything can happen. Adults are considered chaperones, and we need to have background checks also, and that's a best practice. Adults are considered as chaperones, and we're all adults. And so this is why it's important for your club to have persons as advisors with their background check. When you are having a meeting and you're interclubbing, you're getting your schools to interclub, it has to be a planned activity. It must be planned, because you have to know how they are reaching home. Outside of a bus picking them up from the different schools to take them to your meeting place and taking them back to the school where their parents will pick them up there. How are they reaching to the meeting? How are they getting home? You have to consider all of that. No, not just two persons in a car. Make sure somebody else come. If it's a car thing. Normally in the past, and Willie knows, we would know that Mary, Builder Clubite Mary live near to me. And I go and drop her home. That have to stop. It can't go that anymore. Because anything can happen in the car, and something happens to Mary, and it's just the one Kiwanian. Worst of all, the one Kiwanian didn't even have a background check. So those are the things we have to look at and plan properly. And we know that children ride in the back, and they have to have approval before we can transport them anywhere. And of course, no texting while we're driving. We know that. I'm going to run through quickly with the policies online and electronic communication. Things can happen online and through breakout rooms and all of that. We have to make sure that when our youth saying they want us to follow them online, follow me, follow them on their site, just say no. No. You can only have any conversations with them on your club site. So you're not having any personal conversation with them. So try to stay away from that. Try to stay away from posting their pictures, personal pictures on your webpage, your personal webpage. If you have to post pictures on your Kiwanis webpage, remember permission has to be given for the pictures to be posted. What some clubs are doing now is they still have to get permission. So you visit a home, you have to get permission to take. Now, what is happening when you go to the home, they're telling you straight up, no pictures, please. If you do take pictures from the back, or you cover their eyes or face or whatever. So get permission. And I know we're all loving to have the pictures to show. Pictures speak of volumes. All right, so you want to show that the school, but you have to get permission. Do not post a picture on the front page of the Gleaner with a child getting an award from Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Big award. And nobody knows. They didn't get no permission. The parents didn't know. Trouble. So remember all of that. We spoke about photos and all of that. Okay? Any questions there? Coming up to background checks now. What are background checks? And for those really your persons who you have new members who want to get background checks, but remember, The $35 only applies to Kiwanians who are advisors. Okay? So Kiwanis advice background checks are valid for 2 years, and they need to be renewed to remain as a Kiwanis advisor's role. All right, so once you get a background check, it's advisable that you keep renewing. All right, so it's US $35, and this is a subsidized amount for the processing fee. And it's only $35 fee only the SLP, Kiwanis, and faculty advisors will pay. Only if they're faculty advisors. The faculty advisors, the Kiwanis advisors that you know have on your dashboard already, Willie, that's there. I don't know if any of them need to be renewed, but they would be, if they're to be renewed, it would be easier once it doesn't go over the time that after the notice that you get for them to be renewed. So the secretary has to follow through that properly to note when it's coming up for renewal. Now, I, as the manager, I usually get these listings. So I would have to go and extrapolate from that listing and send it personally to you. I've been trying to do that, but it's not as easy as it looks. So we ask the secretaries to help, because these renewal advice would come to the secretary and you can pass it out. Members and non-members chaperone will pay fee required by their country. So it depends on which country you're at. What will happen now is that the secretary, if you have 4 persons who want to get their background check done, the secretary would get their names, get their membership number. You know, every Kiwanis has a membership number. If you are an advisor for a club already and it's just renewal, Kiwanis want to have the name of the club, the name of the SLP club, their number also, and the name of the Kiwanian whom you're seeking to get the background check done for. That is the only way you're going to get it at $35. And again, I say, here we come now, Sue, is to the two per SLP club. All right? 2 per SLP club at $35. It's good for 2 years. And again, the secretary should check the dashboard for expiration dates. It takes about 2 weeks to be processed. And it is now, I spoke to Governor Designate today, and she says, we're straightening it out. Because right now they're having some challenges and she wants to have it straightened out before October. So we know we have challenges, so really, you know what's happening. It's not going through as it should, but they're working on it. And so in the meantime, if you're having any challenges, just speak to me and I will tell you exactly, and I'll give you the name of the person that would send the email to if we're having any challenges. Any questions here? Any questions? Willie, you're okay with this?
Yes, I'm good. Yes.
You're okay, and you're all right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have one problem, but then we can sort it out.
Okay, all right.
Any
other questions? Yes.
Sorry. I'm going to have to ask for an extension, so I'm just going to ask.
Okay, and just give me another 10 minutes.
No, but still, it's okay. Can I get a member to facilitate an extension of the meeting by 10 minutes?
So move.
Second.
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 Thank you, Willie. Go ahead,
Okay.
Deb. Sorry about that.
All right, good. That's okay. All right, so no more questions on background checks? You're okay. These are the persons who really in leadership positions, and this is what, like the president, Kiwanis international board members, all of them, including top president, need to have a background check, and you review the youth protection policy annually. Governors, governors and governor-elects, they should need to have those too. District youth like myself, I need to have all of them. The district administrators like Mr. Humber and so on, they need to have all. Kiwanis member SLP advisors, which we just spoke about, need to have all of them. As you see, the courses, the Presidium courses, and so on. Faculty advisors, if serving as a chaperone off campus, they need to have the background check, and we spoke about that. They need to review the policy, and they just need to do 3 courses of Presidium, and that is their choice, and it will help them too. If you are Kiwanis member chaperoning events, same thing applies. Non-Kiwanis members, you might be a friend of Kiwanis, or you might be a Kiwanian family member who wants to come on the trip. And Kiwanis is saying if they want to come up on the trip as a chaperone, they also have to get that. All right? Kiwanis Club officers are member volunteers with community non-SLP youth. They just have to review the policy like what we're doing. So it's a member who is not interested in anything, but you are a member of your club, so you need to review the policy as we just spoke about. Background checks, how do I get one? We just spoke about it. There are multiple ways to begin the background check application, and it's best to go through your secretary. And this application is done by safe hiring. It's done overseas. And depending on which country you live in, and we're in Jamaica, your country may have a slightly different law about getting the background check. And for the Caribbean, we have to let them know we're from the Caribbean because there's a Caribbean link that we would use to get, because then that link, they would walk you through as to not asking for state or your social security number, etc., etc. Culture of care, I'm not going to go through this now because culture of care, it really provides, it's rounding up our student leaders as the #1 alien resource in creating world-class experiences for our programs. So the culture of care really takes us to like the CKIs and the key clubbers, all right? And they would go through this program just like how you would do Presidium. They would go through a program which teaches them. And at the end of the day, they will also get certificates in showing that they have completed the program and they know exactly what a culture of care, what it is all about. Okay, so I'm not going to go. If you're interested in this culture of care for one of your SLP programs, you can talk to me and we will take you through that. Again, we ask that when you see something, hear something, you got to say something. You have to connect with once you're out now, you have to connect with the leader. You're taking these children out. Somebody can't come to you and say something is going wrong, DLG Bev. You need to act on it. You need to gather notes. You need to contact the event leader, and you need to separate the youth from the accused. It might be a fight. You need to part that fight and get information from how it started, what happened. But you need to stop it, and the police might be involved too, because they have occasions where police would be involved. So you need to approach your local police if it has to do with on a bus and somebody has unsafe, what you call it now, a knife or a gun or one of those things, we need to be able to identify. If somebody comes and tell you, you need to approach it with caution. And of course, you are going to also maintain the confidentiality. So a fight might have broken out, somebody got injured. You are not an investigator. You are there to support and guide, and you're not a judge. So don't judge the key club or to say you started the fight and I've seen it happen already. So you're going to do the necessary thing, record the information, record what happened, take information from what started the fight. And so you see, if you have two Kiwanis advisors at this function, you can ask the other one to help you too. But you wouldn't give this task to just a Kiwanian who is there. You are the Kiwanis advisor. You need to get all of this information. Okay? And most of all, as I said before, you are not an investigator. Don't upset the children and point fingers. Just be there for them, encourage them, and take it to the appropriate person. All right. Now we've been asking questions throughout, but I just want to introduce you to the supporting staff that we have overseas: Jenny, Stacy Payne Miller, Melissa McMahon, and Annie Boone, and also Michelle Sturdy Campbell. These are the persons who are at international who I go through to get information. And if you're having any problems and you can also speak with membership. Go to kiwanis.org membership or youth protection, and you can get information. So I've come to the end of the presentation, and I just want to say that if you have any more questions at this point, you can ask me. I am ready to assist. I'm ready to assist you with your background checks. I'm ready to assist, especially your new Kiwanians. If anybody wants to become an advisor, yes, you speak with your SLP person before, and they can sort it out. The advisors that you now have, you may want to ask them if they want to continue, or is it, they want to change or whatever. But it's a very important duty to be an advisor, and we want them to take it seriously. We want them to take it seriously because we have to protect our children. They are our future, and as Kiwanians, that's what we do best. Thank you, Prez.
Okay, straight to you, President Stephen.
Okay, I see on the program that we had a vote of thanks. Is that still
Yes.
Okay, so I would invite Vice President designate. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. It's all right. You're saying the right.
Yes, right. I was going to invite Vice President designate Andrew Burton to say a few words of thanks to our guest speaker this evening.
Good evening again, and very special good evening to our invited guest, DLG Bev. Thank you so much for sharing from your wealth of knowledge, and of course from a place of experience. I appreciated how practically you broke it down. I've heard talks about youth protection guidelines before, but it was so useful to have the detail about the difference between an advisor, a chaperone, what Presidium is about, what the background check is, how to get our status in check, to look after and to serve our SLPs best. I think from the introduction, you earned every bit of certification that was given to you, Professor Doctor, that was shared. And we thank you for being here with us and for being our club coach and for just being willing to offer help and advice. I'm sure we'll call on you in the future. I'm sure as a committee, the SLP committee, we will be reaching out to you to guide or background checks in the future. And as projected on the screen, we do have a certificate of appreciation to share with you from our club. Thank you so much.
One question. Bev, would you prefer if I put Beverly? Hello, DLG Bev?
She's muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I was muted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I said,
sorry.
would you
No,
prefer?
I love DLG Bev. That's nice. I like it. That's
Okay.
fine. No, that's fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, and DLG Bev, if you can, I think most Kiwanians would have your number, but if you can put it in the chat,
Okay, I
if
will.
people are too shy to ask the questions online, they can reach out to you privately
Okay,
and
sure.
ask for your guidance in that regard.
Okay.
All right. Thank you again on behalf of Kingston Club and everybody who's on the platform for your presentation this evening. Chock full of gems. And very, very, very helpful, especially in the society that we live in today. Can't underscore it enough. Okay, Kiwanians, we're running a little bit late, so I'm going to just go through the final items. We won't, for notices and announcements, I'm going to ask Secretary Willie if he can share with us upcoming meetings and/or interclub opportunities at this time.
Thank you, President. Just to keep it short, one notice tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. It was originally set for 5:30. Hopefully, we can meet with our prospects. We have two prospects that we know, Jervin Burton and Richard Lynch. And hopefully, perhaps we can invite our prospect
online tonight.
Online tonight, Ajay Mathis, with Zuri's permission, he could bring him with him to a meeting where we just gonna have a short discussion with our prospects. I've invited President, I trust you will be there, DP Newton, DP Marcel, DP Stewart, DP Delma is currently off the island. DLG Stan has another appointment at 5:30, but he's prepared to meet with us at 5, and then he can leave, say, at 6 o'clock to go to his other appointment. You know, the time of season where they're actively engaged in other meetings. Speaking of interclubbing opportunity tonight, anybody who would wish to attend Kiwanis Club at Cyber Connect quiz night tomorrow night, it should be interesting, it should be fun. Their meeting begins at 6:30, and hopefully on Thursday we can arrange another interclub with Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew at 6:30. I will advise members of our interclub opportunities, but you can note those two in your diary. But those members who are part of the interview committee tomorrow, please make every effort, because we don't want to lose this opportunity where we can interview our prospects, so we can have an induction ceremony sometime early next month. Thank you, President. That's all for now.
Thank you, Secretary DLG Willie.
President, sorry, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
I was just looking through the chat and I saw where Paul said he paid 107 for a background check. So Willie and I can speak with Paul at another time, how we can sort this little challenge here.
Yeah, because
okay?
I have my receipt.
Okay, hi Paul.
Hello.
It's all right, Thomas.
Yeah. All right, Paul, we'll deal with it. All right?
Okay.
Willie, please just call me and let's see if we can sort that out.
All right, we'll do.
All right.
All right. Thank you. We do have visiting Kiwanians on the platform with us. Is there any visiting Kiwanian club who would like to make an announcement at this time? The floor is open. I see new Kiwanian Oswald Newell online. Welcome, Oswald. Glad you could make it. Are there any announcements? Going once and going twice. Remember, DLG Bev, to put your number. I see Paul has put his contact information in the chat also. All right, if there's
Yes,
no
I
one.
have done so. I
Oh,
have
you
done
did.
so. Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes.
And
All
my
right.
email.
I see it. I see it. My apologies.
Right.
I see it. Okay. So if there's no announcements, we do not have a sergeant at arm, but I'm going to level a blanket fine. Most of you would have heard on Sunday that the Prime Minister has now called for a general election on September 3rd. And I'm asking the Kiwanis Club of Kingston members who have not enumerated, or sorry, don't have their voters ID, because it's very important to exercise your voting rights. Those who have a voter's ID will only have to pay a fine of $250. And for those members who are not enumerated, it's too late now, because if you go to the voter's office now, you will not be able to get your ID in time. But those who have voter's ID, but it may have expired, you'll still be able to vote once you have a voter ID number. So that's a factoid for you there. So even if your ID is expired, once your ID number is on there, you will be able to vote. So $250 for those who have respect adult universal suffrage right, and those who have not pay $500. So on that note, again, I would like to thank DLG Bev for her presentation this evening. Thank you everybody who has stayed around and hung on and listened to the presentation, and I hope you learned something throughout the evening. And of course, we are always glad that you shared your time with us here at Kiwanis Club of Kingston. We know that there are other things going on, so we appreciate your time and your participation. And remember, we meet every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Right here on this platform. Some of our meetings are online and some of them are in person. We'll keep you advised as to when the meetings are. And we also have a YouTube channel. So if you missed anything, you can go back to the Kiwanis Club of Kingston YouTube channel and be able to watch any of the presentations from this evening. You were saying something, Paul?
No, I said, really?
Yes.
I didn't know.
I see you learned something new. You have learned 2 new things today. So yeah, Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Is that the correct name of the channel, DPSQ?
KCOK YouTube channel.
There it is.
But if you put in Kiwanis Club of Kingston, it will come up as well.
Yeah, KCOK YouTube channel. All of our presentations over the years are there, or most of them are there. So you can always revisit it if there's a particular presentation that you'd like or you'd like to revisit. So on that note, at 9 o'clock, I would like to ask you to raise your virtual glasses, or if you have a real glass, and let us propose a toast to Kiwanis International and Jamaica Land We Love. Good evening. I now terminate this meeting of Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Have a pleasant evening and a safe journey home if you're not already at home. Cheers and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, President.